Starting in three, two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Coco is here with Rosh and Saku, and we are continuing Ace Attorney investigations.
Hello.
Hello. Time for Edgeworth to do his thing. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free fall into the...
He
Fell to his death.
Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. I'm very disappointed in you for not doing a musical number. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. And the only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death.
But the murder happened inside this plane.
I know.
Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from?
As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time.
You can't mean...
Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hold.
What? Then we're in trouble. We may have a second death in our hands, sirs. Hey, you! Tell me you're only dead, pal.
Quiet! Why are you screaming?
He's alive!
Yay!
And
Nobody
there you
is happy
have it,
about that.
Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks fell over the railing to his death.
Are they honestly so stupid?
Yes, Rosh, it's an Ace Attorney game. We are
I
very
know.
stupid. That man is living proof of that.
I am the only smart guy in this room. That's all I need to tell you.
The only
It's
smart
true.
guy in this room in this moment.
In this.
My common sense is tingling.
I have logic. You guys don't have that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible given the current circumstances.
The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean?
Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then?
Splat.
It would have been, sorry, this is very, let me minimize and re-thingamate. Okay. It would have been a Burgundian pancake for sure, sir.
I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is the cargo box is there. So there's no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios.
It may be there now, but there is no proof that it was always there.
As if there could have been a window of time when the giant box was not there.
Ah, but there was.
What?
What can I use to show her that it's possible the box was not always where it is now?
Cookie.
Yeah, I don't know. Edgeworth, I can't remember. Why is no one like, hey, maybe he fell down the elevator shaft for the elevator we have in this plane? That's a place someone could fall. Hmm.
There's something about feeling somewhere. There we go.
There you go, that's great.
Bam.
Yeah, I have the thing.
You refueled in the Republic of Zhengfa?
Yes, I personally did that. This flight had a short layover in Zengfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. It's Gumshoe, looking confused.
What? Ah! It's labelled Zengfa Express.
Well done. Correct, using your words. Meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zengfa. I need to keep track of all these very complicated thoughts. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time?
It would mean that the box was not there in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zengfa leg of the flight.
Making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible.
Ah, but your theory is still very far-fetched.
Then allow me the chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. By pushing you down the stairs. Ha!
Ah! Oof! Ah! Oof! Ah! She would just like whip his ankle and pull him down.
Yes! Like the Balrog from Lord of the Rings.
Yes! Fly, you fools! Gumshoe climbs over the edge with him. Soft!
He's gonna be Edgeworth the White.
Comes back in that lovely fuchsia suit. Well, that's no white.
No. There's no way he could be any whiter. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Oh, the investigation begins.
Yes, sir. Man, I can't believe Mr. Hicks fell to his death. I never would have guessed in a million years.
That is still only a hypothesis. However, the investigation should prove it to be true.
Speaking of falling, I'm glad that art guy's okay. He took quite the spill.
Yes, he was lucky to have landed on top of that piece of cargo.
Yeah, I can just see it now. Passenger pays price for police foul up. Oof. Did Prosecutor Edgeworth add fuel to the fire of the first murder with a second death? Yep, I'm willing to bet it would make the front page. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
That's not effective. You're totally reminding me of when I fell into the pit at Khazad-dûm. This is a rather large piece of cargo.
There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. A leaf red statue. Never heard it.
I want a giant box of bed sheets.
Same.
Nor I, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime.
Then let's get investigating, sir. Vroom.
That was the best thing I've ever seen.
Look here, do not go about touching my possessions without my permission.
Don't rush up at me like that, pal.
So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? This guy, not Matt. I should see what else I can find out. That dude has mad sliding down the banister skills.
Yeah, if only Edgeworth had that when he fell into the pit of Khazad-dûm.
He would have survived. Much better. The image of the Balrog sliding down the banister is pretty great, though.
It's true.
I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc.
Of course it is mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This leaf-red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more.
Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold.
10 million cents?
I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes to take.
How did you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and seeing right through me every year.
Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around this. I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place.
Right, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars?
Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there is a chance that your cargo is related to the murder. Our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer. Sorry, your waistcoat is really throwing off my game.
It is a very valuable piece of art. So no, there will be no touching.
It says
Whoa.
but. Are we gonna find out that it's like a bunch of like boxes stacked on top of each other?
Don't touch the statue. Touch the statue. Touch it, I say.
Touch it, I say.
Get out of there.
Yes, touch statue.
Francesca, you go touch it. If I may have a word with you, Francesca.
I don't think you have the time for idle chatter. You still need to prove to me that your hypothetical situation is, in fact, reality.
I was just gonna ask if you wanted to slide down the banister with me.
Yes.
It's very much a brother and sister thing to do. If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Sengfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. Thinking about sliding down the banister totally reminded me of that. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I wonder if it might be a fake.
What? How dare you say my art is fake?
I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring.
Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have the certification of my cargo right here. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say?
You're a lawyer. Reading legal documents is part of your job.
It says as plain as day, Miss Lawyer. The cargo was put into the plane in Europe.
Sorry, I can speak good English. I can't read good English. Like what?
Like, I feel maybe that was like a visual mistake, that maybe it was in Borginese or something.
Yeah.
I think when it was,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Like, she's bilingual, she'd be fine.
And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in this certificate.
No, that's
This
not cool.
means that there never was a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there.
Well, that really ruffles my feathers. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself.
Ruffled his cravat.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right.
Sorry to pause the episode a minute. Coco, did you see that thing where it's Edgeworth like dancing? It's haven't you heard? Did Gumfuck not tell you?
What?
Give me the updated. Oh, I'll link it to you after the
Oh
video.
no, I did not.
This.
Right, sorry, I need to do the thing again.
Do it.
There we go. Okay, I can read it now.
I know I've seen this somewhere before.
This is the Alif Red. Gives us such a feeling of opt. I can practically smell it.
This statue has a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at the museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it.
I believe a closer look is warranted here.
Have a peek, have a peek.
The Balrog of Morgoth. So this is the infamous Balrog. So glad someone was interested in that.
What's a Balrog? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something?
There's something wrong with this Balrog.
Well, it's a statue for one, sir.
More to- So this is the Balrog statue.
No wonder this thing is worth 10 million cents. Look at how it sparkles, sir.
I wouldn't call it sparkling, detective. Maybe more along the lines of dully shining. That is sparkling, Edgeworth.
Gumshoe is a knight in dully sparkling armour.
What's this?
Statue looks like it's stepping all over its neighbour's cloth cupboard.
Rude.
Kind of resembles its owner's attitude in a sense.
You! What did you say now?
Oh, it sounds like a demon's coming out of his mouth.
People on this plane are really weird. I mean, the plane is weird, the people are weird. I'm leaving. I'll run out.
Further, my clothing's hem is not being stepped on by anyone. It is too expensive for me to allow that to happen.
Please forgive the trespass of my subordinate.
Sounds a paycheck being cut.
Why should I forgive?
Why would you steal my lines? Why should I forgive the dress passes? Unless it is an expensive dress, you keep it.
No. Oh, jeez. This is an eye. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I have?
There's a picture of him looking at it, isn't there? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that dude.
The eyes should be red.
These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think?
Hollow Knight vibes. Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. We called it primary school, but I translated for you guys.
Thank you, Gumshoe. You're very considerate. But I don't think you see what I'm talking about.
No, I do, but it's really like the colour of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I felt ill. Then they put our jackets over our head and let the sun, let the wind blow us back.
I don't care about sunsets or your jackets, whatever they may be. Detective, focus. What color are the eyes in this photo?
Huh? Well, I can't really see. He's got specs. sorry.
That's the next line, right? How much to bet that that's the next line?
I'll give you a fiver. Silver bread. You owe me a fiver.
As I thought. This statue is a fake. Or the statue just got really bad red eye from the Mr. LeBlanc.
What do you want? Do you not know I'm a busy man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer.
The Balrog statue. I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not?
It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago.
Please don't have a flashback.
Better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is going to be a long story.
Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but...
I don't care. What is it? Sympathy? For what?
You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. See how mine are all beautiful and yours are all, like, not and stuff?
That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you.
Hey, we got there in the end, Saka.
I wasn't talking about the two of us, except when I was. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo.
Why the sudden yelling? Now then. Oh. It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. Wah!
Did it just get excised?
Great read. Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake.
Okay, well, it's not a bunch of boxes piled on top of each other, but...
I believe that even further examination will be required. Now that we have confirmed this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Zengfa. And I would present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. Edgeworth bluffs more than Phoenix does. Like, you've got no
Yeah.
evidence at all yet. Yeah, somehow.
It sure is Edgeworth. Cookie.
Cookie.
Cookies for all of you. Cookies for every occasion. It'll be the thingamajiggy that we got recently that's not in English but is.
Well, wouldn't it be the Zenfa thing? Because it only came in during a... It only came in the layover, but they said the statue was there first. But if the statue was there first, how could it be on top of the thing?
Yeah.
Yes!
Is it?
Mm-mm.
That one.
Oh, wait. That one, yeah. Yes! There is clearly a contradiction here.
Oh boy.
And I totally knew what it was, and I didn't need Moss to tell me.
Alright. It's just a simple case of a cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. That's not possible.
But It is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zhengfa, there is no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhengfa.
Then what about the cargo certificate?
Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight?
Hmm?
There is only one reason why: to secure proof of a smuggling activity aboard this flight.
So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have just as easily inspected all the cargo after the plane landed.
That may be true. However, you have it backwards, Francesca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed. But he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he found the fake at the airport. It wouldn't...
Sorry.
I have words, and they are these. At this time. The suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there is someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Someone who speaks English, and writes in English. But not me, though.
I guess the victim knew the real version of this was going to get nabbed, huh?
Yes. While this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board.
A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler.
Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. And I'm so happy about it.
Officer, move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now!
Mrs. Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. I don't remember if he sounded like that.
Go on.
After moving the red statue out of the way, we tested the area under it with luminol, and there was a reaction.
Dude, that's a lot of blood!
I see. There was a reaction to luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot.
Can we stop looking at it right now, sirs?
It would seem that my deductions were correct after all.
I suppose it would appear that way.
The culprit cleaned the blood up well.
And how do you think the killer did that?
How did the killer clean up all the blood? I don't know. I've never cleaned anything in my life.
I have
people
gumshoe
do
for
it
that.
For me. The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. Which really probably wouldn't work.
I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zhengfa.
Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover.
So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhengfa?
There's no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. If that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zhengfa, then this becomes highly suspicious.
Miss Mules?
Yeah?
She said something, didn't she, about...
Recall Miss
Yeah.
Mealy's... Is it Meal or Mealy? I forget.
It's Meal,
Oh,
I think, 'cause remember it's Cammy Meal. Yeah.
Recall Miss Meal's testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Zhengfa.
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but...
That totally contradicts the facts, sir!
But why would she lie about something like that?
I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself.
And with that, we wind this episode right here.
Oh, it's so exciting!
Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
Bye-bye!